is Lucy, and today I'm going to be recommending books based on Christmas songs. So I have done this based on the lyrics or the message of the song or what I associate with the song. So I have a selection of 10 books to talk about today, so let's dive in. The first song is I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day by Wizzard. And for this one I have chosen The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie Mackery. So I chose this one because this song makes me think of being a child and having a lot of fun at Christmas time and just listening to Christmas songs, and it is a staple Christmas song really for me. And it's just a whimsical song, and that's why I've chosen this book, because this book is great for children and adults alike. You can get a lot out of it no matter what your age is. So this book is about a boy who meets a mole, a fox and a horse, and he goes on this journey, and it's full of quotes about life and mental health, and it's just really relevant for whoever you are. Like, I would really recommend you pick up this book. It doesn't take long to read, but it really packs a punch. It is really an emotional read, and it has such great messages in it. So I really love this book and I would really recommend it. I just thought that that song would connect with this book really well because it's great for children and adults, and so is I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day. So the next one I chose is One More Sleep by Leona Lewis, and for this one I chose A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Brigid Kemmerer. So I chose this book simply because this book is about a curse, and it makes me think of, because it's based on Beauty and the Beast, it makes me think of the countdown with the rose, and this song is also a countdown until Christmas, so that's why I chose this book. So this book is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and we follow a prince who is cursed and he has to live his 18th year over and over again. He cannot age, and this young girl called Harper is drawn into his world, and I am really excited to read this and see what I think. And yes, I'm hoping to read that next year. I did feature this in my 21 books to read in 2021 video, so I will link that down below if you want to check that out. The next song is Let It Snow by Dean Martin, and for this one I chose Stealing Snow by Danielle Page. So this is a really underrated book that I loved, and I chose this book because there is snow in it. There is a lot of snow in this book. So this book is basically based on the Snow Queen story, and there is a young girl who is in a psychiatric hospital, and she ends up going to this other world, and we find out things, and it's kind of dark, but there's also friendship in it and an adventure, and I just really enjoyed this book. It didn't get that many great reviews when it came out, but I actually really enjoyed it, and I've been waiting for the second book for so long. And we still don't really know when it's going to be released because the release date keeps getting pushed back. But I really hope that they do release a sequel for this because I do want to find out what happened. I feel like it was written quite uniquely. There was some magic in there that was very different, and I did enjoy it. But please check out any Goodreads reviews for trigger warnings for this book, because I did read it a long time ago and I can't remember. But I do remember there was some dark things in here. And the next song is It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. And for this one, I chose Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. So you might be wondering, why did you choose this book? So I chose this book because I read this last year, I think just after Christmas. So when it says it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, this reminds me of Christmas last year. So this is a book that the film was based on. And in this book, these companies are all trying to perfect genetics, and they're trying to create dinosaurs. One company succeeds and they make a theme park, which obviously goes wrong. And there are loads of experts and the CEO of the company, and yeah, things happen. And this features a lot of science talk, which I did enjoy because I am really interested in biology. So I really enjoyed this book. It was slow going. I listened to the audiobook, but I did really enjoy this, and I'm going to be reading the next one hopefully soon. The next song is Santa Tell Me by Ariana Grande, and for this one I chose The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. So this book follows a girl who is a politician's daughter, and something happens and she ends up changing her whole life. So before she was always in the spotlight, but now she changes that and she walks some dogs and does some different things, and I think there's a romance in this. So I chose Santa Tell Me because that song is all about seeing if someone actually loves the main character, and I'm wondering, will the love interest love her for who she is, or will they just want to use her status to advance their own career? So I'm really interested to find out. I'm wondering if that will be like a bit of drama in this book or what. But I've never read a book by Morgan Matson before. I don't read a lot of contemporary, but when I do, I have loved it in the past, so I'm interested to check this out. The next song is Last Christmas by Wham. So for this one I chose Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. So I absolutely loved this book when it came out, but I'm not sure if I would now. And in this book you follow a girl with anxiety, and she's going to university, and she's always been with her twin. But her twin wants to have separate rooms and live more separately at university. And the main character, Kath, finds this very difficult. And then she meets this guy and a romance ensues as well. And she's also trying to write an original story, but she has always written fan fiction. So she finds that very difficult. And I used to do a lot of writing, so I did enjoy seeing a book about a young writer, and the anxiety representation I remember being really well done. So the reason why I chose this for Last Christmas is because, and I'm just going to give a spoiler warning here just in case you don't want to know anything about the book. So in this book Levi actually kisses another girl, I think, and I don't really like how that was done. And in Last Christmas it's all about a man who was in love with a woman, and she no longer wants to be with him, and she's basically torn his heart apart. So this kind of made me think of when that scene happened. So that's why I connected it with Fangirl. The next song is Merry Christmas Everyone by Shakin' Stevens, and for this I chose A Pinch of Magic by Michelle Harrison. So I chose this because Merry Christmas Everyone is all about having fun at Christmas time, and this book was a lot of fun. So this book follows three sisters who find out that they are cursed, and they each have their own magical object. And the curse is that if they leave the island, they will die by sunset the next day. And something happens and they end up in this very situation. And there's a lot of danger. There is a dangerous criminal in this book, and there were times when this book was actually scary because you didn't know what was going to happen, and you were really worried for these characters because it's such a serious thing for them to deal with at such a young age. But this book was also full of magic and family, and it had an element in books that I really love. And it was just such a great read. I ended up reading most of it really quickly, and I'm planning to read the sequel next year. And I spoke about that in my 21 books I want to read in 2021 video, so I will link that down below. But yes, this book was amazing and I would really recommend it. It's made me want to read more middle grade. So yeah, for that song, A Pinch of Magic. Next up is All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. And for this song I chose Poison Study by Maria V. Schneider. So I chose this because there's a really strong romance in this book, and it just made me think of that. So this book follows a young girl who has had a really difficult life, and she is in prison for murdering someone, and instead of execution they offer her this job of being the poison taster for the king. So she is trained by someone, and he really doesn't trust her, but over time he learns to, and there is some magic and things happen, and it's just such a great book. So it's the first book in a trilogy that I read really quickly, and I really did enjoy. I read the book set after it following a different character, but I didn't like that one. And there's another trilogy following on from the first trilogy with the same characters that I do intend to read at some point. But yes, when I read this a few years ago, I really did love it, and I have reviews on my blog, so I will actually link them down below in case you wanted to check out more details. And the last song is Baby It's Cold Outside, and for this one I chose The Bear and the Nightingale. So this book follows a young girl called Vassia, and when she was young her mother died and her father remarried, and her stepmother is horrible to her. So Vassia can see spirits, and her stepmother believes that this is evil. So this leads to Vassia being treated very poorly, and you see what happens to her family. And it's inspired by Russian folklore, and it's a very wintry landscape, so that's why I chose Baby It's Cold Outside. And there are scenes which are set in the forest, which is very cold as well. And there is also a dark false, and I really enjoyed this book when I read it, and I gave it 5 stars at the time. It's not one that I absolutely love. I may read the sequel, but at the time I did enjoy it. It was very unique, and I'm glad I read it. So those are 10 books that I've chosen based on Christmas songs. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and please let me know what you would choose for these songs, or any other songs and books that you would connect together. And thank you so much for watching. Please check out my other videos if you would like to, and subscribe if you would like to. I hope to see you in another video soon. Bye!